I'm one of the program chairs for the RLBReW group, and I'll be hosting the morning. Just giving some introductory remarks before we start out. So I think this is a super exciting time for RL. We're seeing applications across the board in all sorts of areas. When I first started doing RL didn't work, and now it is. So that's super great, right? And RL has been incredibly successful, I think, when there are really clear reward functions and a lot of data. But reward functions are really hard to design. They're unintuitive for a lot of practical applications, and a lot of the times, it requires a really astute researcher, maybe with a little bit of luck, to find the right reward function to solve a lot of different tasks. And so that's the question, like why are we all here today? We're hoping to go beyond rewards. And I think that's begun to happen, right? I think everyone here has been looking at some of the settings and building the tools to make that possible, from expert demonstrations in robot teleoperation, cross embodiment, language, preferences. We're beginning to find all these different ways of defining how to do RL in the absence of a clear-cut, well-designed reward function. And so I think this RLBReW workshop is, this is a super great time to be working in this, because we get to bring together, I think, a lot of different areas. There are people working in different applications, like, hey, how can I take preferences for this particular kind of data, for language, or for any other sort of preferences in robotics data or whatever it is, and put that together with RL researchers who have been working with reward-free environments for a long time. And we've been looking at different questions like skill discovery and unsupervised pre-training and all these other tools. And we believe that there's a powerful overlap between the tool development that's been happening for a long time and the settings that have just begun to be possible to train RL policies on. And so we want to bring people together on that subject and hopefully have some really interesting ideas. And of course, that's really just, I put up a few things on the slide, but that's really just the beginning. There's a huge range of these possible tools and possible topics by which we can create a lot of overlap and combinations. There's sort of, exponential possibilities for how many ways in which we can go beyond rewards in RL. And so, of course, we want to, have this workshop with this guiding question, like how far can the RL community progress in that goal of creating generalist decision-making agents using reward-free interactions, right? How can we leverage this vast amount of reward-free data and in settings in which we think that there's a lot of interesting decision-making to happen, using the tools that we've been developing in RL for a long time. So I hope you guys are all as excited about this topic as I am. I just wanted to very quickly, give some thanks to all there's a pretty wide group of program chairs that have been working on organizing this workshop together. Of course, excited for all of you guys to be able to present your posters and advance the conversation on this topic. And of course, I'm super excited for all the invited talks, right? I think we have a really great set of speakers, a really great group of people who are going to really give a lot of insight and thought into how to take RL well beyond rewards. Very briefly, also, I want to just go through, make sure everyone's on board with schedule. So, I think we're relatively on time. Our first talk is going to be Glenn, who's here, and then B-Way, and then we'll have the contributed talks, and we'll have 5 of those, and we're super excited about those. And then, of course, the first poster session. So I know we sent out an email saying, you're in poster session 1 or poster session 2, and you can put up your posters, when your poster session comes up. So there's one poster session 10:30 to 11, and there's another one 3:30 to 4:30. I think there's enough room for all the posters to go up. So, if you're like, I'm in the second session, but I really want to put my poster up, feel free. I think there's enough room for that. And then we'll have another talk and then lunch, and then we'll have another slate of really exciting talks after lunch. So be sure to come back after that. Great. One last thing. So we're hosting a social at 7:30. So you have some really great talks here. You feel like, oh, there wasn't enough time to talk about everything I wanted to. Perfect. Come to the social. Tell whoever you're talking to come have a little bit more of that informal conversation, so that we can really make some of these cool ideas come to life. All right, and with that, Glenn, if you're ready,